So I'm just setting up some stuff. Dude, we're gonna go over avatars. Let me- Okay, so right now I'm just working on the cosmetic displays. I'm just trying to lay out everything. Yes, this is broken, but we're in the process of fixing stuff. Right now, just laying out the cosmetic displays. I'm trying to figure this out. Equipment. So what we're doing is setting up the equipment station for you, kind of like Eeps and other Gorilla Tag games, where you have something that you select these items. So let me see. I think main thing is and we might do something differently. Let me double check. So we need to make sure that this is like a prefab. Because what I'm gonna do is set up when you grab the cosmetic, you're selecting it. So then uh spawn cosmetic picked up. So here instead we're gonna do when the cosmetic is picked up, we're gonna maybe when we do a hover over cosmetic selected, let's select, it's a better word for it. And here we're gonna change player loadout. Okay, so here we're gonna out. Way this works is that let me check. I'm gonna do the Miro. Tomorrow I'm gonna actually go through all this setup. Well, not this part, but the network part to show how it works. Uh, uh, that is, and I have it drawn up. So in here we have this local player loadout. You have the backend and the runtime changes, and so this runtime changes, we could say, can happen for multiple reasons. But the most do is equipment station. Equip. Um, the other one that could be another asset be um, buying station. Could be similar. If you buy it, it will change what you have. So let's this. So this is what we're working on, the equipment station. Okay, so we're gonna focus on this guy, and it will change the local player loadout. That's why we're doing. And tomorrow I'm gonna go over this even more so and how it ended up. So we gotta set up the buttons and the equipment. Hey, what's up, Stump? How's it going? I think, Stump, were you on the leaderboard? So I gotta check the leaderboard for people. I saw some people were leveling up. Yeah, Stump, we have you at level 8 so far, and Shell is level 1. He didn't even do anything. Cyclone level 3. I made some changes. I'm gonna upload them today. We have the new avatar, kind of. I'm fixing the hands, but we're gonna ramp up stuff that can do things. But I need to fix it first, and then once I got this figured out, the avatar, we're not gonna have the problem that we did before with the avatar moving, and then we can get cooking. Like we can do some stuff. Let me. Okay, so I don't need this right yet. So I want to make sure. Under prefab, say, this is cosmetics as a player. Player menu. I wonder where the equipment station is. Prefab. Oh, because it's a spell. Hmm. Okay, so we're gonna be able to spawn the equipment station with a spell. So that's the other thing though I set up. So let me make sure. Play. Okay, and then yeah, so you'll be able to draw a square with your left hand, and it will just plop in. That way you can have it. And then with the right hand, you have the live cam. And these are I'm gonna make some spells that are always available to you. You don't have to equip them, so that you just gotta remember what the gesture is for the spell. So then we have, let's see. So this is where the station, the little cosmetics are gonna spawn. Gotta make sure they're okay. That should be fine. On this side, we're gonna have, this is gonna be the color station. So you're gonna be able to swap colors for each cosmetic. And then you're also gonna be able to add patterns to each cosmetic. So once you have one pattern, you can apply that pattern to everything. And when you have a color, you can apply that color to any of the other things. So that's the idea with this side. But we're gonna work on this first, get this working, and then we're gonna do the other one. Okay, so let me make sure. So we have medic. Okay, display presenter. Oh, and then I should. Okay, so this is why we made the prefab. Then I can just load it once. Yeah. So we have the equipment, and then we need the display. What is it? Display. Equipment display, I think. Equipment presenters, equipment display. This will have. I wonder if we need to have it as a prefab as well. Okay, so we have the data. Oh, we don't have one yet. Own cosmetic data. Oh, because it's different. Call. Edit this. Instead of cosmetics, there's owned inventory. And this one is inventory data list. Cosmetics, cosmetic data, current cosmetic owned. Okay, so we have that. Now we're gonna Okay. So in here, gather the cosmetics. So we're trying to get the cosmetics, and we gotta get cosmetic by data. Get cosmetic. So let's alt name gather type. So I get that's working. I think. Oh, no. So I need to create this own inventory. Okay, so we're gonna do this. And go through the cosmetic. Oh, the main thing is that we have to all cosmetic. Have this cosmetic. So we're gonna okay, so in here, cosmetic data cosmetic alt name. Okay, so list data. Okay, and then we add new cosmetics with 0 being the default cosmetic. Okay, so the default cosmetic might not be there, might be empty. So this we have to change. To do figure out default, because sometimes default means nothing, and sometimes default means nothing. Other times it means default. So we might have to something. Gotta figure that out. What's the default? And so we add that to the pack. So if own cosmetics, and the default ones, you have to figure that out. So, let me think. Yeah, I gotta figure that out to see if we do we give out the default cosmetics. And so that's the main thing first, is like figure out default values and see if they are correct. So this is a big thing that I have to think through, but let's get the logic here. Okay, so we're gonna go through all the cosmetics that I owned. And then we're gonna go through it, but we're gonna add one because we're gonna skip the default one. But in this case scenario, we're not gonna do that. Let's not do +1. We'll just grab all of them. So we're gonna grab the cosmetics. Hey, what's up, Ramayo? Is that right? How's it going? So just so you guys are aware, we're just going over cosmetics for the game. And let me see. I can show again. We're going over equipment station. We're trying to do this part to change the player loadout and then do all this stuff with the cosmetics. So we have this guy right here, cosmetic station. That's okay. It's not a big deal if no one's watching. I don't mind. I'm just doing this as like, this is how I do it. and then at the very least, is so that I can watch myself in the future and look back. So no big deal. But thanks for watching, guys. And if there's any questions you guys have about the game or like feedback that you guys want input on the game, that'd be awesome. Or anything you guys want to talk about, I don't mind sharing information. The main thing with this game, why I'm doing it, is because it's gonna be my game, and so I can share everything about the game, and so that's why I'm doing this. Okay. Okay. So what were we doing? So we were grabbing all the cosmetics. Okay, cosmetic. Let me make sure this is grabbing the cosmetic. Yep. Okay. So I go through all the cosmetics that I own and I spawn the costs and I fill that out. And then I arrange the cosmetics and I set them up. If there's only one, I set that one up and we have the shift values moved. And so this is just so that we can move from, so we can toggle between the two. So if you have more than 5 cosmetics, let me see. So this percent. So if we have more than this amount, it will shift these by a value. So we'll have 5. So the idea is that these 5, and here cosmetic percenters, we have 5. So we line them up. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna line them up in this order that I'm putting them in. And then when we have a button that changes right and left, it will shift these over if we have more. So shift value 5. Um, let me double check. Oh no, shift value doesn't matter. I don't think we need shift value. It should be, yeah, we don't even, let me check. Shift value, need it. Oh yeah, shift value minus 1. Oh, so that's like the current. It should be, doesn't need to, current. I'm just gonna say, I'll just leave it at that. But that's like the current shift value for that. Okay, and then default name. So for hoodies, the default hoodie doesn't matter. I'm not gonna do a default name. I don't need this. Or cosmetic type. Okay, so we have the inventory, the data list, and then cosmetics owned. Cosmetic type is a hoodie. Okay, so now I can just copy that. And now we can say hat display. And all I have to do is change this right here. And it works. Okay, so that's how this thing works. I believe, yep. Okay, then I just copy this and we have now scarves. Okay, and then we have scarf done. And then we have belt. I don't even know if belts are good, but figure it out and we'll fix it. Hoodie, scarf, belt. Change this belt. Then I think, let me see that. Oh, we have hat, scarf, belt, and then eventually we'll have robe as well. Robes, belts, hats. I don't know if I want to call them displays or. Okay, and then. Okay, so we have all of them. And then what's going to happen is we're just going to hide them one at a time. So then we have. This equipment station. Equipment station. This has the equipment display, but I haven't done anything yet. This now. So we are, let's see. So we're gonna do equipment display. This one's gonna be, let's say, hat display. Copy paste all these. Hoodie, scarf, belt, robe. Okay, so these are all those displays. So if I go back, okay, hoodie, hat, or doesn't matter, but it's pretty straightforward. Sometimes this stuff seems boring, but it's like that's why people get paid to make these, to make games. But oftentimes people just don't know how to do this kind of stuff, so that's why I'm showing it. Um, and then we have here. So the thing is, we're gonna add buttons, and each button is gonna turn off one of these or the other. So, um, but first we're gonna say this one is the selected display. Okay, so we have different displays, and we're always gonna have one selected. Okay, meta. Okay, and so we have it here. So what we're gonna do is select the display here. So what happens is the next cosmetic is gonna grab. So the reason why we have this selected display is to know which one is selected at the time. And then we're gonna have the next cosmetic button and the previous, which will move it to the next display. So we're gonna show the cosmetic and hide the cosmetic. And so if we select, so let's say we do, let's do region for cosmetic selector, okay? Or a cosmetic display selector. And just so we could keep things organized. Okay, so in here, we're gonna have a function. When you press the button, it will select select hat cosmetic. Oh, oops, I forgot. Void. Okay, so this will then turn off the hat and hide the cosmetic. Okay, so the way it's gonna work is that it's gonna hide the cosmetics and selected cosmetic like display equals hat display. Okay, and then we're gonna show the cosmetic, hide cosmetics. So this is all we're doing back and forth. And the way we could do it is instead of doing, it depends on where we want to do it. But we could do either all these functions the same, or just say select cosmetic display, and then put a string in here, or even better, just leave it like that. So select hat cosmetic, and then we have a bunch more. So we have again hoodie, robe, scarf, and belt. Okay, we're just working with these right now. And then in here we would have a belt display, scarf display, robe display, hoodie display. Okay, so that is that. Okay, pretty straightforward. The idea is to make these super simple. And when I'm writing this stuff, it looks very generic, but it's actually as long as you, it is harder to write clean code than usually. Okay, so we have now equipment station. I don't. Oh, this is the Pro Builder stuff. Do I need a collider? Okay, so we have. Okay, the equipment station. We have a lot of cosmetics. Now we're gonna create cosmetic buttons. For right now, we're just gonna make them super simple, like the UI stuff. Let me see if I can make it work. Okay, so we're gonna it's called button UI. Gonna change it to world space. Already layer default. Okay. So we have big 2.01. That okay, and get to 0. And now we can this button, and we're probably gonna do that. Because we need to test it fast, or try to at least get something to see if it's working. And we're gonna start fixing stuff as soon as I can test it. It probably is not all set up correctly yet, but we'll see. We'll see what breaks and slowly fix stuff as we go. So we have buttons. I think I have a button prefab. Let me double check stuff. So if I go into my main player, I can borrow some of the stuff I already have. Menu. Yeah, because we have these buttons. See what I use for them. I forgot. Close window. Whoa. Just an image. Oh. UI interactor. So I have a UI interactor, but I don't think it's a prefab. So a box collider trigger UI. And the interactor will set it on and off. Nothing here. Oh, that might. I need to check that. Let me check that while I'm doing that. Gotta see what is the old rig. Window. Oh, menu controller toggle menu. Ooh, that's what I'm missing. Okay, so that's good to know. So I gotta go in here and close menu. Close menu. Okay, and then on here, player UI interactor, player menu controller select. I think all those are working though. Player button. Oh no! Really? You didn't do that to me? Dang it! I'm gonna have to fix all these. That's a bummer. So I'll have to. I hate that. It's all gone. That's how you make prefabs. So crash. Okay. So let's see where we're at. Okay, so we have the player there. Oh, we put him here, facing that way. Okay. Now, okay. So Okay, I'll have to fix. I have to do. I'm gonna write it down. Fix UI buttons for the. Was that for VRX? So that's tedious, but I have to do it before I upload, so you guys can use that to equip your spells. Let me see. Okay, so we have that. Now let's go back to the equipment station. Now that I know kind of what we're doing. UI buttons. Okay, so let me just borrow stuff. See if we can read some of this stuff. The menu there. Okay, so we have this menu thing that's backwards, I think, or no, it's there. Yeah. So we're gonna reuse some of the buttons so we could make this quick. Menu. We have all these buttons. We're gonna do all these. I think this should work. Okay. Now we have this. We're gonna keep this because this is gonna be to like despawn the. For now, this is all we're gonna do for closing down the thing, the object. So what we're gonna do is UI. Then we're gonna equipment station. I'm trying to think if I should want to destroy it or just hide it. I'll just hide it for now. I think I'll make sure on the spells that we are. Let me see. Equipment spell. Where is it? Spell. Okay, equipment station, instantiate. Oh, equipment station. Okay, hold on. So if we already have another equipment station, so this is for spawning the station by drawing the spell. So if we have a previous station, we're gonna move the station. Dot transform dot position equals. Oh, and we needed it to face the player. So we'll do that in a second too. Position equals hit point. Okay, so we'll put it there. We have to rotate it though. Turn. Okay. So if we have a station already, we're gonna put it and we're gonna do the rotation as well. So have this. What we're gonna do, set up. Oh yeah, yeah. So the rotation should be. So we're gonna have to put current station transform dot rotation, and we want it to be the same as this rotation. So that way. I think. Oh, but that might position it weird. But hopefully it works. Let's see. If it tilts it a little bit, we'll change it. But for now, this is how that will fix. And then So that way we can deactivate it. And so then what will happen is we'll make sure that the current equipment station set active to true. So that way it's going to be hidden somewhere if it already spawned, if you close it. And so that way it'll move it back in front of you. That way we don't have to spawn and destroy, spawn and destroy. Okay, so equipment station, we're just going to set it active. So that's that one. Okay, so we have that. So now we can spawn the equipment station and then deactivate it so we can go back and forth. So that's good. Okay, now I'm just gonna add one button. I don't need the other once I figure this button out. So that, this down, plug. Okay, so we have this button. Get bigger, bigger. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if we want it more square, but okay, so we're gonna do the square button. I'm gonna say, where's this one? We said we were gonna double check. Okay, so we put this to the side and hats, even though we don't have, want something else. So we'll do hoodies first. Hoodies. Hats we'll be able to do hats on top of hoodies. So like headphones and other gear. Okay, and this avatar, we're not gonna have anything, which we're gonna have to figure that out. The main head empty. Okay, so he has nothing. But the locators are there, so we know where they go. Okay. Oh, and we don't need to. We'll have to figure that out too later. Medic setup, and we'll figure out how to match stuff to that. And then, okay, so we have this player button. We gotta fix the interactor. This interactor is gonna. Oh, not gonna be enough. So let me see. I have 5 cosmetics. Enough? Okay. Okay. Then I'm gonna add the interaction equipment station, and this is when the player presses the button. Equation, select hoodies. Hoodie cosmetic. The other thing we wanna maybe do is add something to this button. Oh, that's the other. Yeah, we're gonna change it. Okay. So this is more square, and it has the logic that I want, which is to change the color. Okay, so we have. Come on. Hoodie. Button. We have overlay. So the overlay is like this. So it means it's pressed. Just change this to. And so then when you press it, it'll do this. Interactor. Okay, so the only thing that's different is here. Equipment station. Hoodie. Okay, so then we're gonna hoodie and fits. Okay. So we have that. Okay, and now we have the button the way we want it, and it'll change colors when you press it. There. Okay, so now we're gonna do scarf, And eventually we'll add icons instead of just saying, but for now this works. Belt button, button, and what is this one? Hat button. We don't have any hats yet. Hats are going to be the easiest to do eventually. Okay, so then change it to say, oh yeah, this is scarf. Belt. Robe. Hat. Okay, yeah. That one's a little. Hat. Now we need to make sure that change it to hat cosmetics. This one to robe. I know that things are gonna break, but I need to make sure I. Good. Okay, so now it will change between these different cost stations. Well, there'll be hoodies, and then you have to own them. So the next thing is like, well, what do you own, right? So we need to set it up so everyone local player loadout. Maybe we do need a default setup. Let me check if I have these on PlayFab. Economy logs. I don't have anything. Okay, so let's set up the default. The default cosmetic. Because we have scarf default, hoodie. What if we don't have it default? It's empty. If the thing is empty, then we do something differently every time. Maybe we don't do anything. Okay. Okay, so we have the body belt. Okay, so we have belt, I think it's called robe. Let me see. Be able to go back to them. So let's see. Do I call them empty or default? That's always annoying. Because I need to know the player doesn't own them, they'll always be default, and then we'll set it at the beginning. So then we need the default name. So let's go back. Go back and say in here, did I field default name? Sometimes, and then you will have to set up The length is 1. The own one would need to have it be, because we'll set up the default and the one you own. Okay, and then this is +1. We're going to be 0. And we're going to do current cosmetic owned. Because we're going to add the default. So you own the 0 to default. Okay, and then we have cosmetic 0 will be the default name. Each one will be separate. Okay, so we have that. Now let's set up, in order to make sense, I have to create the inventory. So we have inventory data list. We have this list now, but to make it easier, I have specific ones. So hoodies, what do we have? We have 2 cosmetics, robes, robe, bars, we have belts, patterns. Over the scarf. Scarf of our default. So this default I'm gonna name default. Because if it's gonna search default, and then we have that. Come on. Query data list. Okay, so we're gonna scarf done. A hoodie default and hoodie. These hoodie robes, belt default, and belt OG. Have all the other cosmetic. This or pattern. Default, default. That's we have. So we need to make sure that that works. This is good. Okay. And robe. Oh, we don't have one for robe. We make sure we inventory hoodie resources. Belt hoodie patterns. Robe. Robes. Okay, so create cosmetic data, and that's a robe default. Oh, come on. Put that. Here we have equipment station, cosmetic display, the hoodies. There's a hoodies default name, I think. Let me go to the robe default, belts, previous belt default. Oh, that's what I just make it multi. because we have at least one of each. The hard part is gonna be hats, because hat is uh okay. I know what. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure that all of them are using default first. Default. These. Okay. Default pattern. Scarf. Default. Okay. Okay, and then in here, the last thing, this is still not gonna work because I need to change up my cosmetic stuff. But let's. I need to get the prefabs working, and then I need to do the on trigger enter. So there's still a lot to do. I'll have to do offline. Okay, arrange cosmetics. Oh yeah, in here. So what we're gonna do is when this default value. Okay, so if default name is empty. Oh no, I know what to do. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we're gonna here say default hats. Hats. Oh yeah, cosmetic data, hat, default, and again be default, and the prefab is just going to be empty, and default hat prefab. So that way, it's like deleting it. Maybe we'll grab a different specific prefab for it, but we'll do that on later, and you'll see. Because next week I'll have it all set up. Probably tomorrow or by Monday, I'll have it all set up, and I'll do a video on how everything's set up. This is the beginning. Let me see the close window. Put it here. And then main thing is this guy has to be based on the cosmetic. Should be spawning things. Okay, the other thing that I haven't set up is thing. POV. Other thing I haven't done yet, which is set up the row. The row here. Right. The empty row is there, so we're gonna main. Let me see how to set up the other ones. So we need folder, robe, and then hat. Okay, so then we have robe. So we're gonna separate this. So what happens if when we drag it in the row of empty, 0, 0, it should line up. And so then when I have the other cosmetics, the belt, the OG belt or like belt, to line up. Then when I have the scarf and scarf, I don't know if there's a better word for the scarf. Oh, and then it should be 0. This one, save. Equipment station is lining up. Belt, head. Okay, so then the cosmetics, scarves, hoodies do the same. Yep, so we have that. And still temp. We got that stuff working. So the idea is that these cosmetics will be able to put in here at runtime from this station. The last thing is I need to connect all these. So if we go into inventory, data list. Okay, so we have these guys. The cosmetic. Let's start with hoodies. Okay, so hoodies default. The prefab is that. Okay, it's good. It's working. Okay, so inventory the list. Okay, so the hoodies are working. The robe is not because I need to set it up. So I need to find the robe. The robe. This. Okay. And then have scarf. Yeah, inventory. Data list. Let's see if I can. And then, okay, so you have scarves. Sure, scarves default. You have the scarf main. Crap. OG. We have the scar. Then we need the belts. Make sure the belts are working. Belt main. G. They have the prefab. Okay, so then we have the hats. It's empty. And so with the hat, what we could do is sourcer hats. So we have a hat default. We're gonna use here. Got it. So what will happen is when it's empty, it'll just not spawn anything for now, but we want it to do something. Okay, last thing on the equipment station. Okay, we need these to have something in there. So these displays need functionality. Okay, so we have 3D object, let's say a sphere. Let's just do square. That's easier to do. Cube. Oh, and this needs to be okay. This one. Okay, 1, 1. Seems kind of weird. It's weird that it's like that because there's something. Oh my gosh, I hate this. This is scaled, so we'll have to figure that out later. My fault for save. Change this. Main station, and then the art should not. Okay, so let me read empty. Main cosmetic station here. Happen this way here and this parented here, so that way it can be. Dang it, it's gonna change everything. Okay, but we're gonna change these where I gotta figure out the placement. These they're not wonky. And let's scarf belts. And the scarf belt. And we're gonna go back to here, hide all these other ones. Almost done with it. Okay, so use this trigger. Is that this is a we could do on hover enter, so we could do our own, but for now XR grabbable, grab interactable, but you won't be able. We shouldn't be able to grab it though. Maybe I'll just do the UI on trigger enter. But the idea is me scripts shop. The shop is puzzles spells tools equipment spell. No, that's script. So then we could do that. Oh, we could do the UI thing. Whoopsie. Oh, come on, stop. So we can make it like the buttons where you just use the UI to select the items. Delete. Oh, come on, stop. Okay, so we have the thing we're gonna do is hover over wherever it's called. Hover or UI. Hover. Dang it, what is it called? So these, we're gonna use the same thing as this UI interactor. Okay, so we're gonna do okay, so we have a UI interactor. And so when you hover on, it will do something. And then, so, okay. So we're going to do selected. And when you let go, it'll, or we could just do, yeah. Okay. So, equipment station, we're going to do a hover over. Let's see, cosmetic selected, void, cosmetic chosen. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scale it. So cosmetic, come on. Cosmetic scale. Scale there. Okay. So cosmetic selected, cosmetic chosen. We're gonna turn it up to 1 something. 2. So that let me see, 0.3, 0.6. Yeah, okay. So they'll scale up and it'll scale down when it's selected. And then we're gonna change the local player. Oh, this is where switch. And we're gonna do it based on the cosmetic type. Or let me see. Their cosmetic type. Oh, cosmetic to present. Oh, sorry, type. So based on the type, we'll say uh, if it's a robe, or let's see, if it's a cost. Say it's belt, right? Then we have break. We selected the belt. Oh, whoopsie. If it's a cosmetic belt, then it will belt E equals ID. Okay, so this will change. This is where the logic happens to change to finally get things done. Now it's changing. So we have avatar. So we have, let's see, a hat, hoodie, robe. What else? Scarf. Okay, and then we change in here hat. A lot of setup. Hoodie. And then we also have to figure out the how to set up the colors to make sure the colors change. But that's another thing. First, we want to make sure this is working. Okay, so we have all this. RFID, hat, hoodie, robe. Okay, so we have all those. And on the cosmetic. I would on cosmetic. Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, so this is for the most part everything. What I have to do now is just test it, which I couldn't do now. So in here we have equipment presenter. Oh, whoopsie! I only. Okay. We have all the tools set up to things working. So when you select it, it'll hover over, like it will do like a scale up so that you know you're selecting it, and when you let go, it will populate it. Kind of like a button. And this is temporary because maybe we change it how we do it, but we're gonna move. So these buttons will change each one of these stations. These stations will read the cosmetics you own, and add the default value. Now, the last two things I need to do is figure out how to grab like a different default option, but it will work regardless of what's there. So in here, X object cube. So this would be like come on, for an empty object. Okay, so we're gonna scale it. Remove this box collider. We're gonna do an X, like that or something. That. Okay, so X like a default. So we have this red, shiny red. create empty, default. Then we move this here, prefabs, player, I think. And then we just put it here for default. Put it 0. Just clean. Okay. Okay. Then we're gonna on. Then we have inventory data list. So in here we have this hat default that has nothing. I'm gonna add that. Inventory list. Hat default. Look for that. Default. Okay, there we go. Now we have all the prefabs. So the last thing is just to test things out and do, but I have to go. I will continue to work on this and then update it. I gotta fix a bunch of UI stuff and things so that the game's working. But I think I can launch an update tonight and get something really good for the players to play and get things going. Okay. So if you have any thoughts about how to make the game better and you want to help out testing and whatnot, there's a lot of opportunities to help out and test on the Discord. And I'll leave it, eventually leave my links are always in my profile, and you can check out the alpha whenever